Velez Mitchell sitting in for Nancy Grace. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. There is a break in the case of missing 4-year-old Haylee Donovan. Investigators believe they have surveillance video that shows the missing toddler. Lots of new developments tonight, and straight out to Matt Bruning, reporter for News Talk 610 WTVN. Matt, what is the very latest?
Well, the latest we know now is that we have this surveillance video actually from two different Walmart stores, one in Ontario, which is just west of Mansfield. That was shot on May 29th, but Haylee does not appear in that video. But a couple of days later, another Walmart surveillance video appears. It was May 31st from Marion, which is about 40 miles to the west of Mansfield, and it does show Haylee for a brief moment in a truck out in the parking lot, along with her mother Candace and Robbie Potter, that sex offender. They were all in the truck together. The video also shows Candace going into the Walmart store there in Marion, buying a couple of items, or looking at a couple of items, and then maybe even shoplifting a couple of items, police think, because she went into a bathroom. When she came out, she was wearing some different clothes. But one of the most important clues is that we now have more details on the pickup truck that these three are in. We're now also getting a new license plate number, DNS 9729. It's a blue 1988 Chevy pickup truck. Again, Ohio license plate DNS 9729.
All right. Now, we are very delighted to have with us the Assistant Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal for the Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force, doing a great job trying to track down this trio, one very innocent member, and one a convicted sex offender, and one a mom with very, very bad judgment, to say the very least. Drew DeSerto, tell us what you were doing and tell us about the new reward that's being offered.
Well, thank you for having us on, Jane. We really appreciate all your assistance in getting the word out there. And, yeah, I want to clarify first, that plate on that truck is E, as in Echo, ENS 9729. We've actually just confirmed that in the last couple hours, so I definitely want to update you on that.
Well, let me just say this. Here's my problem with this video. It's fantastic video, but we're now in the middle of June, and this was taken toward the end of May. And so in those 15 days or so, they could have gone anywhere. We've heard reports they're going to go to Arizona. They might be headed to Colorado. How do you, it's like searching for a needle in a haystack. Yes, you've got this vehicle, but how does this video help you, given the fact that so much time has passed?
Well, you're absolutely right. There's a large search going on, and there's pretty much possibility of them being anywhere at this point. We're following up leads in many states. The good thing about this video is that we can confirm, at least on May 31st, that Haylee was with them. We believe that is Haylee. So at this point in time, we believe she's still with them, and our search is still on.
All right. Well, we have also with us a very, very special guest, Mary Watson, the grandmother of the adorable child that you're seeing on your screen right now, Haylee Donovan, and also Candace's mother. Mary, thank you for joining us. I know this has to be so tough for you right now. What are you going through in terms of the emotions that you're grappling with? It's got to be very, very confusing and complex.
I've been very upset. I've been crying. I've been having mixed feelings. I'm just hoping that they're okay out there, and I know that the U.S. Marshals are doing their job as best as they can, and hopefully they'll be found real soon.
Now, I have to say that what makes this case so tough is that authorities believe that your daughter went willingly with her daughter with this guy who's got a record, who broke out of a halfway house. What can you tell us about why your daughter would make that decision, if you believe that that's really what she decided to do, to take off with this dangerous guy, knowing perhaps his history? I understand that your daughter, and listen, I'm a recovering alcoholic with 14 years of sobriety, that your daughter had suffered from an addiction. Will you tell us about that and how that might have contributed to her confusion about this situation?
She never was an alcoholic.
Didn't she have an addiction, though? Didn't she have some drug problems?
She was on crystal meth at one time. She's been doing real well. She was planning on going to school. She never knew at the beginning what this man was about. When she had called home, she had finally found out what he's about. I don't know if he's keeping her and Haylee captive or what. I just hope somebody finds out something soon.
All right, Leslie Austin, you're the psychotherapist. The reason I mentioned addiction is that even if she wasn't using at this moment in time, this is certainly not being emotionally sober. And if you're a recovering addict and you go on some kind of a spree like this, you know, obviously you're in danger of slipping. Once, if you do slip, God only knows what's going to happen to this child. I mean, this is a recipe for disaster here.
Well, there's an emotional underpinning to addiction that may be playing here even if she's not doing any kind of drugs or alcohol at all. And that is bad impulse control and doing something in the present moment and not being able to plan forward. And sometimes poor boundaries as well. So it may be some old emotional issues are getting challenged by her wanting to be in a relationship with this guy.
All right, we've got some phone calls. Lighten up. Ann, Rhode Island, your question or thought, ma'am?
Hi, Jane. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Jane, question for you on this case. It's very disturbing. My question is, if they can look at her and see her on video in Ohio, does she have an untraceable cell phone that they're having trouble tracking, or does she have, is there any cell phone involved?
Oh, wow. Well, we have Mark Klass, president and founder of the Klass Kids Foundation, who has really tracked so many of these hunts for missing children. Mark, what is the cell phone situation? How would that help find them?
I really don't know the cell phone situation, but if she has one, or if he has one, and they know the phone number, then they will be able to ping those phones if and when they use them. I think the good news, though, Jane, is that they do have a vehicle description, a very detailed one. They know the license plate they're looking for, and they know as of the 31st that the little girl was still alive. So, you know, this is a huge organized force, the U.S. Marshals, and if they're on the case, I have no doubt that they're going to break it.
Well, let's bring in the attorneys, and starting with Eleanor Dixon, prosecutor. If they're naive enough to go into a Walmart where there are surveillance cameras and traipse around there and walk in and walk out, they might be naive enough to hang on to their cell phones, which would mean that we would have pings to follow them with.
Exactly. That's the best way to discover somebody's whereabouts. And even if you don't know their numbers, you may know friends they regularly call, so get the friends' cell phone records and see what numbers are showing up. So you can kind of do it in the back door that way, Jane.
All right, Peter Odom, defense attorney. Everybody's wondering about this mother, if she's found, what she could be prosecuted for. And remember that you have the father of this little child who was arrested for allegedly abetting the escape of this guy too, so that if they do charge this mother with a lot, she could essentially end up orphaned with neither the father nor the mother.
Oh, which would be tragic. I'll tell you, Jane, what concerns me is that everyone is assuming that this mother is there voluntarily. What I'm seeing on this videotape is the mother in the store with someone outside in the car, apparently with the child. This mother could be an unwilling participant in this. I don't think it's wise to jump to the conclusion that she's doing this voluntarily at this point.
All right, well, let's go back to Drew Deserto, Assistant Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal. I mean, what facts do you have to support the idea that she went willingly?
Well, at this point in time, we believe she's went willingly, but like they said, we can't say for sure one way or the other. But what's important is that this man is a danger, and we need to catch him, and we need your help.
Another day and no Haylee. It's just tearing me apart. I brought Haylee up here last year, and it's just getting to me. It's wishing she was here with me again.